Just quickly gonna show off, this is what a burlap trap looks like. We've just wrapped a piece of burlap and hung it with a piece of twine. This was a 3-foot roll that I just cut with a utility knife down the middle. So we've got about 18 inches of burlap. Caterpillars are hide up in here, and then you come out every day, lift it up, you know, get a brush and brush them into your soapy water or what have you. The other option is using tape, duct tape, and so all you'll do with that is get a little bit of the sticky part on the tree and then flip it over so you're not duct taping your whole tree. And then you can wrap it a few more times to get a thicker band, and they'll stick to the duct tape a little bit, but you can add things like Vaseline. There's commercial products like Tanglefoot or Catchmaster, I think is what Home Depot's brand, that you can just apply directly to that tape. This caterpillars get stuck in that, and then you can clean it off, or they'll just die stuck to that tape. So that's another method for capturing them before they get up to into your foliage. Again, these are pretty labor intensive management options, but they're good for specimen trees, your giant oak tree that you really want to protect. These are good options for that sort of for that sort of tree.
The one thing I'll mention is those Tanglefoot products and Vaseline. There is a very simple to make mistake where you don't put the tape on and people think they can apply it straight to the bark. Well, sometimes it has petroleum products that can actually penetrate the bark and stress the tree out. Not only that, is that band that you make, you're going to be looking at that band for decades until that bark flakes off. So applying that tape, you want to make sure it's tight. If there's a lot of furrows, you can stuff cotton balls to block the path of gypsy moth from going underneath. But that tape is important to make sure that you're not getting that product on the bark of the tree itself, because once it binds to the bark, it's there until the bark eventually flakes off.
Yeah, and so one of the recommendations that's in your pamphlet there is leave about 2 inches of tape or whatever you're applying to the bark, so that product doesn't dribble down onto your tree. Leave a little bit of a cushion area for dripping.
Great, thanks Brian. We're going to take a look at a couple of the sample egg sacs that we found on our survey yesterday. It should be noted that when Ben and I were walking through the woods, it actually was fairly difficult to find them, so we have some binoculars that will help with seeing them in the tops of the trees. But to get a good example of where they are, where you can find them, we have a bunch that are on the side of the building here. Some older ones, you can kind of feel how spongy, flaky they are. And we do actually have a new egg sac that you can kind of test the firmness on that to kind of get an idea of what the new egg sacs look and feel like. So the new one is just on this side of the building. We can all kind of take a look at that and then head out. Gotcha.
So I'm not gonna touch them.
I'm not.
You convinced me.
But yeah, it's right here. There's a few dead caterpillars as well. But you can touch it for firmness. Yep.
I think the